In the aftermath of 9/11, American intelligence agencies were tasked with finding more effective ways to keep the U.S. safe. The FBI, CIA, and NSA all made the expansion of intelligence gathering a priority. Using their surveillance tools against terrorist suspects in hostile states in order to prevent other attacks is not controversial. However, leaks by Edward Snowden have shown that the NSA also targets the communications of American citizens not suspected of any wrongdoing, as well as the citizens and leaders of the U.S.'s allies, including German Chancellor Angela Merkel and Brazilian President Dilma Rousseff, who are infuriated by the NSA's actions. Others view electronic surveillance, even of allies, as a crucial tool for pursuing American interests abroad. This is not a new attitude. Why should the U.S. spy on allies? Number 1. Our allies today might not be our allies tomorrow, so we benefit from having information regarding their plans and strategic intentions in case something changes in our relationships. We build allied relationships with other countries with our best interests in mind. As ties to these countries become shaky, we must keep our safety and security a priority. Number 2. We can prevent terrorist activities that threaten our national security with our surveillance in allied countries. The NSA claims that the purpose of international surveillance is to keep track of terrorist communications. Although a country may be allies with us, there could be terrorists that reside in these countries looking to endanger our nation. We gain an understanding of any country's supposed intentions that could pose a potential threat to our country. If, for example, Angela Merkel is aware of terrorist activity in her country, and she has information about it, the conversations with her and her advisors about this could be useful to know about before the terrorists strike. Tracking their communications is vital. Number 3. Because the United States most certainly isn't the only country conducting such surveillance, we gain more by spying on other countries than we would if we stopped spying while the other countries continued to spy on us. Number 4. At this point, surveillance has become just about getting ahead. Although supposed information about terrorism is useful, just knowing all sorts of information on everyone, allies or not, has become a game about who can know the most. Americans, competitive by nature, would like to get a leg up. Why should the U.S. stop or modify our surveillance program on allies? Despite the benefits of being able to track the internal discussions of our allies, there are significant downsides to conducting such surveillance. Number 1. Surveillance robs people of their sense of privacy. Governments value their privacy because they have their own interests to look out for and are frustrated when they are stripped of that value. Number 2. Major tech companies are also frustrated with the NSA snooping. Google gave permission to the NSA to look into some of their US-based databases. However, the company did not give the NSA permission to hack into its European data centers. The NSA penetrated the databases of Google and other US multinationals, and as the other countries learn of these security breaches, some have sought to take their business elsewhere in order to guard their privacy and trade secrets. Foreigners are losing trust in America and our web-based companies like Google and Amazon, since their encryption on their networks is apparently no match for the NSA's spies. Electronic trade barriers might be constructed between companies, damaging the easy flow of information and goods between countries. Number 3. With surveillance, a shaky, untrustworthy relationship between countries could develop into a less than ideal relationship. Trust between our allies is vital to our national security. Having strong and friendly relationships keeps us protected from potential international threats. Is the information we gather from the data more important than significant monetary losses and trust between allies? As it stands right now, the Pandora's box has already been opened and there will be no absolute end to the snooping. The surveillance has no longer become about terrorism. It stopped being about terrorism when we started snooping on our allies, because we know that they aren't planning on hurting us, or at least hopefully not. The only problem with stopping the surveillance is that other countries might not stop spying on us, so we end up at a disadvantage. However, there is no need for the surveillance of allies since they are our allies. Therefore, the surveillance should be stopped or significantly slowed down. The benefits that we supposedly gain do not outweigh the cost in broken relationships and the damage created between us and our allies. If they're actually our allies, we don't need to spy on them. If we need to gain information, we can just ask. If they refuse to give us information or we have evidence of legitimate suspicion, we can then resort to spying as a worst-case scenario. There is too much negative conflict created as a result of spying, ergo it should be stopped on all fronts.